Today we're going to be figuring out whether the Convergence VTOL can handle bigger batteries. And the reason why I want to do this is because in vertical flight mode, I'm only getting like 4 minutes of flight time, and there's not always the airspace to take it into airplane mode, because you need a lot for that. And I'm not really happy with a 4-minute runtime. Now, it does make sense why it goes from a 10-minute flight time down to a 4-minute flight time. You've got an extra motor, you've also got a very inefficient multicopter. It's not optimized, so it's not going to be getting the best runtime, and it's a really small battery. So I carved out the battery bay, and I was able to fit a 5600 milliamp hour battery into the compartments. Now I do have to take the canopy off, but you can always make an expanded canopy, and I can show you that in a future video, so don't forget to subscribe. But today, we're going to be comparing runtimes on a 2200 as well as a 5600. I did bring 2 of these larger batteries as well as the original battery to compare it. So I think I'm going to start out with the smaller battery, see how it does, and then we can compare it to the other battery and see if there's any improvement, or if because of the extra weight, you're having to give it extra throttle. Sometimes you just burn as much power as you gained, and you really weren't any better off. So this is the stock one that it had, and it's a 2250 milliamp, 11.1 volts, and it's 25C. And this is the battery we're going to be putting into it. So it's quite longer, it's much thicker, and it's much taller. So overall, this has over twice the amount of capacity, and it can discharge it 3 times faster compared to this. So I'm actually just going to leave the battery out like that. It's quite in there, although just to be safe, I am going to tape it in case the Velcro splits. I'm going to go over the part of the battery that would actually stick and make sure we're properly tensioned down. Yeah, as you can see, the battery bay, normally there would be this on top. Because the battery is getting so hot under load, I'm just keeping it out in the open, and I test flew it like that last night. It was actually totally fine. Get the husky hair out of my goggles, turning on the goggles. These are really cheap, like $60 box goggles. They only have like 320p resolution. They do have dual diversity antennas. That just means that it's switching between the antennas depending on which one's getting better signal. It's very unlikely the second antenna is going to do anything. This one's a dipole antenna, and this on the plane is a RHCP, which is right-hand circular polarization Cloverfield antenna, and that has a different pickup pattern. They can't really talk to each other very well. So I have the matching antenna on my main receiver. I do still have an antenna on it. It's good to have antennas on the plugs when you're firing things up. Less important on the receiver, but if you fire up a transmitter with no antenna, you can actually fry it immediately. And I've actually had that happen. I've also plugged a 5-volt camera into a 24-volt line, found out real quick what that smelt like. And you can see inside here, there's just a little analog signal going to a screen. You got battery, you got channels, and it's just like a really cheap VR headset. It's actually put the plane on a flat surface, and this truck isn't parked perfectly flat, so I'm going to tilt it just a bit. And this plane will let you know it's ready when it goes into vertical mode. You can't take this off in horizontal mode. Those propellers are too long, they hit the ground. And you could put airplane style landing gear on it, but like, what's the point? You got vertical takeoff. Like, that's the entire point. Now that we got picture in our goggles, you can see the nose of the plane on the top, and you can see the wood of the tail bed, or the tailgate, and then my thermos in front of it. So I'm going to put these on, and we're just going to take off. Alright, let's go. So I'm going to gain some altitude. Something doesn't feel right. I'm full throttle right now and I can't get any altitude. So I think the battery might be dead. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that, but I got a whopping 1 minute of flight time on that. I didn't bring my voltmeter with me, so I can't check what the voltage is. So that's really strange. I don't know why it's doing that, but I had no power on that. So whatever, it is what it is. Oh god. So I'm in airplane mode right now, and it does not like it. I'm full throttle, and I can barely keep the plane. Okay, I'm gonna go out of, there we go, I'm in manual mode. Manual mode's a bit better. Let's see if I can do a flyby. Oh gosh. So this battery is way too heavy for this. It doesn't like it at all. Not at all. It is also insanely windy. I don't know if you can even see this on camera. I mean, it looks beautiful up here. This is fun on the VR headset. It rolls real nice. Does inverted badly. Does inverted very badly. Oh, this looks like a Windows Vista kind of, or not Windows Vista, but like Windows screensaver up here. It's so beautiful. All that orange color, the sunset. That headwind is just going straight up despite the nose being. Oh, I got distracted. I see it. That's a lot. I looked up from my VR headset to see if people were walking, and I just sailed myself right to the ground. That really sucks. I wonder how bad it's damaged, because it doesn't take damage very well. That was a rookie mistake. I can't believe. Oh, I'm trying not to look at it until I get right up. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, God. Alright, well, this is the state of that. Oh, my. I mean, surprisingly, the tilt rotors. Oh, shit. That's bad. That's bad. Okay, well, that was a costly mistake. When you hear people approaching, don't look away from your damn goggles. What was I thinking? Alright, so honestly, the breakable parts, the parts I was concerned about, were these. And they are fine. This can be hot glued together, so can that. It looks like everything is here. Oh my gosh, I need to unplug that. No, it's unplugged. Oh, where's the battery? Like, this is all fine. Honestly, like, everything looks fine. Oh, look, over here. Oh, notice that. Okay. We got the nose. Okay, so honestly, let's do a little bit of an assessment. We got the nose, and that fits just like that. Totally fine. Yeah, just like that. So if you dip these in hot water, see how it's all wrinkled up there? If you dip it in hot water, it'll come back out. Now, next up, we would have the body, 2 wings. That would go there. That goes underneath and houses your radio. We have all of our electronics. We have the VTX. What's this? That's part of my cowling. It's important not to litter. Okay. Honestly, it's all fine. It's all fine. This is going to take a bit of work to redo, but none of the actual parts need replacing. They just need some hot gluing back together. We're good. So, can the Convergence VTOL fly with a 5600? Technically. Are you going to enjoy the experience? Probably not. Would you do it in a pinch? As long as it's not these 20-mile-an-hour winds. Honestly, it was pilot error. It was me
looking away for too long. I thought I'd only look up for a second. I looked up for a couple seconds, and that was just the difference to, you know, this is a fast plane and it demands your attention. And if you're flying FPV, you really should be focusing on that. And everyone else can just, you know, exist outside of your peripheral vision for a second. But so it was my fault that the plane crashed. Could it do it? Yeah. Would it get extra runtime? Honestly, yeah, because it was still in forward flight. I was able to bring it down to about half throttle before I noticed it was really starting to stall out. And that was actually not that different than when I had the 2200 milliamp in there. So I think you would actually get double the forward flight time if you really tried. I will repair the plane, and that will probably be my next video after this, but the one after that should be another test. I really want to make this happen. I do see that there is one part, the avionics bay, did get really mangled. Now there's a trick where if you put hot water in a bowl and dunk the part in, it should straighten out. I'm going to try that, but I've also been wanting to add some more avionics to this. I really want an on-screen display, and that requires a flight controller. I've been looking at some flight controllers. There's the, I think it's the Speedy VTOL. They have a VTOL specific version of the flying wing one, and that sounds like a really popular choice. So if I made a new avionics bay, then I think that I could probably fit that. Now, the flight controller that has, not that bad. I just wish it had a bit more manual programming available. Not bad, and it will work for a while, but there's a lot of things I want to do with this platform that I can't really do with its current setup. So I might take this opportunity in the restoration of it to modify it a bit, give me a bigger battery bay. I really want a bigger battery bay, and I want more room for avionics because it was a pain to even get just the basic radio and FPV gear in there. To get an OSD and then like a different flight controller, it's going to be a real struggle. So while it's apart, I may as well modify it. So if you want to see the repair video, make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to upload once a week lately with this new Convergence project. It's really catching my attention, and I love to share it on YouTube. So if you have any questions about the VTOL or how to repair airplanes, let me know down below, and I'll try and answer them in the next video. Until next time, this is Fort Kickass, and I do cool projects on here.